5,000 degrees Fahrenheit, about half as hot as the surface of the sun. The capsule will hit nearly 25,000 miles per hour, and then it's going to slow down at a rate of nearly 4 times the force of gravity.
All right, Shelby, pretty cool. And I want to show you how you can get a shot of that really quickly. We've been talking about our Gulfstream and how you can get all of the live content. Let's go ahead and pull it up here for you now, because we're going to have that for you on the Gulfstream, so you're able to watch Artemis as it makes its re-entry. First, what you want to do is go on over to where it says On Now Live Events. You're going to click on that, and that's where you'll be able to see Artemis 2 making its re-entry. Remember, the Gulfstream is a free app. If you don't have it, it's very easy to find. Just go to your Roku or your Apple TV streaming device and type in the Fox 10 Gulfstream. It'll pull up the menu. And again, you want to go to right where it says Live Events, and you'll be able to click that and watch it as it happens.
Well, it's been 2 days since residents from Stockton and surrounding communities met with Silicon Ranch, the company that's planning to build a huge solar farm there. Company executives spoke with Fox 10 News about their takeaways from that meeting and their message to the community. The community showed up in full force Wednesday night in Bay Minette, lining the streets in front of City Hall in protest before the meeting. More than 180 attended the presentation by Silicon Ranch. The company stayed for nearly 4 hours answering every question. They ranged from land management during the construction process to buffer zones and wildlife corridors. Chief Commercial Officer for Silicon Ranch, Matt Beasley, says they're ready to be good neighbors.
We're excited about investing in Baldwin County. We're excited about being landowners and property owners and neighbors. And, again, for us, as a company that is a long-term owner and operator of every project that we've ever developed, we're going to be neighbors and active members of the community for decades to come.
So where do things go from here? We're going to take a closer look at that coming up on Fox 10 News at 5. Just a gorgeous, beautiful start to your weekend. The sun is shining. There's a little breeze. Not too hot out there either on this Friday.
Looking forward to the weekend. We have so many community events also. It's spring break for local students in Baldwin County, so let's get that important forecast. Hi, Jason.
Yeah, hey, and it's going to be spring break next week for Mobile County, so we need good weather in the forecast. And this is what we're seeing out there. We've got some great weather outside right now. That's going to continue as we head into your weekend. We are expecting to see pleasant overnight lows around the area tonight. We've got a lot of spots that are dropping down into the mid 50s, right at 50 in Montgomery, 53 in Birmingham. And taking a look at tomorrow, plenty of sunshine across the entire region, not just here, but further to the north. We're in the 80s in Nashville, upper 80s in Memphis. So it's going to be warm across the area. The thing that's causing for some problems is the lack of rainfall, and we just don't see it as we run the futurecast out through the day tomorrow. Look at this big old bubble over our area. You can almost see a clockwise spin to the atmosphere around the region, and what's happening is high pressure is just dominating our weather. It's keeping any systems from coming in to bring us rain. We're also seeing a persistent southerly flow, so that's causing for some rip current issues at the beaches. It's a medium risk tomorrow, then we have a high risk on Sunday. Coming up, I'm going to take you through your entire forecast. We'll look at our rain chances and our temperatures even into next week.
A lot of eyes on Pakistan this weekend as the U.S. and Iran gets ready for historic negotiations.
And hanging in the balance, the lives of millions of people across the Middle East and the fate of the global economy.
Today's Consumer Price Index report indicates the war with Iran drove up monthly U.S. inflation threefold in March. Michael Yoshida with the very latest.
Security in and around Islamabad, Pakistan is tightening as the stage is set for make-or-break talks between the U.S. and Iran.
We're going to try to have a positive negotiation. The president has gave us some pretty clear guidelines.
A fragile two-week ceasefire paving the way for the talks and holding for now, but continued strikes between Israel and Iran-backed Hezbollah could threaten any potential deal. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel wants direct talks with Lebanon on disarming Hezbollah. He insists Lebanon is not part of the ceasefire deal.
Israel in general is not enthusiastic about the overall talks between the U.S. and Iran. And it's afraid that President Trump might accept a limited deal and leave Iran quite influential and powerful in the region.
The ceasefire isn't giving oil shippers the nerve to brave the narrow Strait of Hormuz. Clear guidance on how and when to transit and a long-term view of the strait's future are still missing. Ripple effects from the war in Iran are driving up gas prices and in turn increasing U.S. inflation according to the latest Consumer Price Index report.
It could still be quite affordable if they reach some sort of accord here, but you know, you're losing so much oil every day that time is of the essence.
Friday's report showed the annual rate of inflation reached 3.3% in March, up from 2.4% in February. I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
And we are getting a bit of a break at the pump heading into the weekend. AAA says the national average for a gallon of regular is at $4.15. That's about 2 pennies less than what we were paying yesterday. And every little bit counts. It is actually the first time the average gasoline prices in the U.S. have dropped by more than a penny. The war with Iran has been driving up costs. Analysts say the decrease will be limited, however, because oil remains expensive, hovering at around $100 a barrel.
All right, let's take a look at the roadways right now, and we are looking at a steady flow of travel here, but we have some delays at the Wallace Tunnel. Let's get right to it. You know, Fridays can be this way, especially during spring break season and the summertime travel season, and it looks like the backup almost to Broad Street now. That's a pretty good delay there leading into the Wallace Tunnel eastbound, trying to travel towards Baldwin County. If you're in Baldwin County heading back to Mobile, you're going to run into some slowdowns too, and it's going to start before the Battleship and continue almost all the way into the tunnel, but it's in slow mode, not in stop and go mode, so maybe a little bit better coming over from Baldwin County. Checking Pensacola, we don't see any problems here. Everything looks just fine. Coming up on Fox 10 News, I'll have your complete forecast for the weekend and even take a peek ahead into next week.
Also ahead on Fox News at 4, Discovery Day at the Dauphin Island Sea Lab is your chance to see their latest research up close. We'll tell you how in a live studio interview next. Then the special event that lets visitors snap a picture and learn how science protects local bird populations. We'll explain what that is all about. First, a live look at the beach. A lot of people down there enjoying the fun in the sun. I've got a fun fact for you. The last letter added to the English alphabet, did you know, was the letter J. Dates back to 1524. Before that, the letter I was used for both sounds, for I and J. Fun fact. Okay, this is exciting. Welcome back. There's an annual event where you can find out about the research going on at the Dauphin Island Sea Lab. We're talking about Discovery Day. So Mackenzie Russell is here to talk about more. And Mackenzie is so cool because you brought props. Yes. I love that. I was telling Mackenzie, we're redoing our set over there. And so normally we'd have a table. You wouldn't have to hold everything.
That is okay.
Because it says do not touch. So
it's a little different when it's not on a manatee. But yes, I'm really excited to be here to talk about Discovery Day.
Okay, so walk us through it for people who are not familiar with this. It's coming up.
It is. It's tomorrow. So tomorrow from 10 to 2 down at the Dauphin Island Sea Lab on Dauphin Island. It's an incredible open house experience. So essentially the labs that really aren't open to the public every normal day are going to be totally open. So that means that we'll have different exhibits the kids can see and touch, and adults. It's super fun for everybody, all ages, can kind of see the things that us researchers do every day that are more behind the scenes.
We had some videos showing there. You mentioned labs. What kind of labs are we talking about?
We have quite a few research laboratories down at the Sea Lab. I myself am with Dr. Ruth Carmichael's Marine Mammal Research Program. So we study marine mammals, so things like whales and dolphins. But then we've got a whole bunch of other groups that study fishes, seagrass, oceanography, all sorts of different relationships with the human footprint and science, especially here in Mobile Bay.
Yeah, a lot of interesting information that you get to sort through every day. I'm curious, what led you down that path? Like, how did you know this is what you wanted to do?
I really enjoy figuring things out. So I like to answer questions, and that's a lot of what my job is. So I try to figure out, you know, what is making marine mammals in our area sick, and potentially how we can therefore help them, you know, when we figure things out. So that's really how I got where I am.
Okay, so what are you holding? What is that?
So I brought to show off a little bit. This is a manatee tag. So this will normally be filled with some really cool electronic components, and it'll float behind a manatee. So we'll actually attach a really soft belt around a manatee's waist, and it'll have a tether that goes up to this kind of floating tag. And it looks really big, but keep in mind how big a manatee is, right? So about 2,000 pounds.
Yeah.
But then this will float behind them, and it'll actually communicate with satellites, so we can satellite track manatees.
Satellite track them, just to see what their habits are, to learn more about them.
Exactly where they're going, where they're spending time, and a lot of the information that we've learned is really groundbreaking, and you can learn so much more tomorrow at Discovery Day.
So can I hold it?
Absolutely.
Okay, because you have another prop.
I do. So I brought this too,
and
this is also. It is heavy, but that white part is the float, so it does float behind them. And but this is my other really cool thing that I wanted to show off.
Oh my gosh!
So
can we
this,
get like a full shot?
Yeah, this is a.
Look at that.
This is a sperm whale rib bone that I brought to show you. So a big part of what we do with my research group and the group that I'm a part of. Is looking at stranding. So things like dead sperm whales that may wash up. This one, for example, washed up on the beach in Fort Morgan in 2024. And we were able to recover this, which is really cool. I'm not sure, do you notice anything unique about this rib?
Yes.
So this rib is actually
a lot.
It's really
what's the different shading?
Yes.
It's porous. I mean, there are a lot of observations.
This rib was actually broken in 2 places and healed. So that means that this whale, sometime in its life, had some sort of event that actually broke its bones, and it recovered.
That's good.
So that's really interesting. So this is kind of the stuff that we'll be showing off tomorrow at Discovery Day. All sorts of things that people don't often get to see that we love to share with the public.
Awesome. Well, hopefully you can get out there. Mackenzie, thank you.
Thank you.
It's been fun having you in here. We're going to have this posted on our website, so you can share it with someone you know. Look for it shortly after the newscast. And Shelby, we've got another activity for the weekend.
We sure do. I want to come over there and kind of touch some of those things. Looks very fun. Well, speaking of, nature lovers and bird enthusiasts have a unique opportunity to experience science up close on Dauphin Island. The Banding Coalition of the Americas and Dauphin Island Bird Sanctuaries are teaming up for a special spring bird banding event. Fox 10's Stephen Moody has this story.
Dauphin Island residents and visitors are getting a rare look at how researchers study and protect wild bird populations. Federally licensed banders are on site near Cadillac Square, measuring and safely placing identification bands on birds before releasing them back into the wild. All banding is conducted under a federally authorized permit through the U.S. Geological Survey's Bird Banding Lab, ensuring the safety and well-being of the animals.
And the thing is we're really lucky because here on Dauphin Island, it's called an important bird area. There's over 80 migratory bird species that have been recorded coming through this island. And so many birds use this place as a gas station or a rest stop before heading north to continue on their migration.
Attendees brought cameras to capture the experience and were even able to learn more about the species literally in their backyards, giving them a greater appreciation for these beautiful birds.
Emma said we had 300 visitors. I've counted. We've now had over 400 in less than 3 days. So it is, and every year it gets bigger and bigger. And we get more and more awareness for Dauphin Island bird sanctuaries, and that helps us to preserve this very, very special island down here.
And as it continues throughout the weekend, more people are definitely welcome to join in.
And that's excellent, and we definitely want to be welcoming for people to come and learn, no matter what their level is of previous birding experience. Total novice to expert, we want you to come out and learn.
Stephen Moody, Fox 10 News.
All right, let's take a look out there right now with our Dolphins cam, and this is our Eastern Shore Toyota camera here, and it is a beautiful day. We've had great spring-like weather across the Gulf Coast today, and looking at our Dolphins cam, things are really in good shape. 75 degrees current temperature, breeze out of the south. Eventually, that's going to gradually get our moisture values back up, but not to the point where we're going to see any rain. We have partly cloudy skies across the Gulf Coast. This is always cool to me to see this. All right, check this out. These little clouds right here are cumulus clouds, and they're kind of drifting west, okay? They're in the low levels of the atmosphere. These clouds right here are cirrus clouds. They're up in the atmosphere. They're those thin, wispy clouds, and they're going in the opposite direction. So at the surface and just above the surface, the flow pattern is kind of from the east to the west, but then you look aloft and the flow pattern is going from the west back to the east. And so you have to think about the atmosphere in layers of, like layers of a cake, right? And so the wind can be different at different heights in the atmosphere. Beach forecast, medium rip current risk on Saturday. Sunday, a high rip current risk. We do have the rip current concerns going forward for spring break, and that could be a problem. Our drought monitor, unfortunately, is the other issue we're going to see. We've got the rip current issue, and then we have the drought issue, and the drought levels at a severe level or above over a good part of the area. Our rainfall deficit's now at about 9.5 inches for the year and growing by the day. Because if we run this model out Sunday, next week, Monday, run it into Tuesday, and there's just no rain around. We've got a huge high pressure area that's going to sit over the top of us. It's upper level ridge too, and that's just really going to squash any significant rain chances for a while. I'll look long range again today just to see if there's any hope for rain. Right around in the period between about the 19th and the 21st of April, we may see some form of a weak front in the area, but that's a long ways out. 50s for lows tonight, just like we saw last night. Comfortable nights. Sunshine Saturday, Sunday. Temps in the low 80s. Overnight lows around 60. And then going forward over the next 7 days, we've got highs in the low 80s and lows in the 60s with partly cloudy skies, even into the end of the week next week without any official chance of rain. So things look good in the forecast area with our conditions over the next 7 days.
Vexel Energy cutting the ribbon on a new convenience store in Spanish Fort Stonebridge community. We're told it's a win for the area's growing economy. The new Extra Mile Wingfingers location off Bedrock Boulevard, bringing in new jobs, tax revenue, and other fuel options for families in that corridor. The store pairs with the Chevron, a modern C-store, and a full Wingfingers restaurant. Vexel Energy is part of the 68 Ventures family, and they say the flagship is just the start, as it has more plans for additional local jobs across the Gulf Coast.
Well, Broadway is about to be lit up by Pink. The Grammy-winning singer is set to host this summer's Tony Awards, bringing her high-energy style to Broadway's biggest night.
The Fox 10 Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Fox 10 Pledge of Allegiance.
People are streaming in for the first weekend of Coachella in Southern California.
Yes, and so far this year, the traffic is off to a much better start. Organizers rolling out a new plan to avoid that 9-hour delay that was seen last year, adding check-in areas and maintaining a continuous flow of vehicles.
Sabrina Carpenter, Justin Bieber, Karol G set to headline that 2-weekend music festival, Arts 2. The event draws in more than 100,000 people every weekend. It is on my list of things to do one of these days.
Yes, I've always wanted to go, and I follow a lot of people that, social media influencers that go year after year, but this year having Justin Bieber there, I can't wait to see the videos at least. Who would you want to see that's there this year? Justin Bieber. Oh, well, I know that.
Who would I want to see? Labyrinth. He was there last year. Billie Eilish, she was there last year.
It's a good lineup.
Karol G. I go see Karol G.
Yeah, all the above. Well, today's entertainment news ranges from Broadway to ballet to a new way to watch movies at home.
And Sade as well. I would love to see her at Coachella. Oh. Sorry.
I thought we were rhyming.
Yeah, no, but I was still thinking who I want to see at Coachella. Let's go to David Daniel with your Hollywood Minute.
Pink is headed to Broadway. The performer and theater fanatic is set to host this year's Tony Awards. Pink said in a statement, "Broadway has shaped my life and how I put my own shows together," and called stage actors the literal hardest working people in showbiz. The 79th annual Tony Awards take place June 7th. The Royal Ballet's performance of Giselle is coming to a movie theater near you. The tragic love story screens on Sunday and Monday only. Check fathomentertainment.com for locations and showtimes.
The owner's having a little trouble, I guess, and I'm here to clean it up.
Prime Video is expanding its on-screen sign language interpretation. It's now available on 18 more Prime original movies, such as Roadhouse and Red, White, and Royal Blue. On-screen interpreters' facial expressions and body language can provide more nuance than captions alone. You can scroll to the accessible movies and TV collection on Prime. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
I love that.
I was just saying that there was one of the chefs at the Chef Challenge last night that he had someone signing for him. It was really cool to see, just like her explaining the different sounds and what, like the sounds that we have in the studio.
Yeah, if you ever hear that, that's just George.
That's George.
We're under construction.
Yes. Next up, we're going to dive into the big breaking stories we're working on for your most local news at 5.
And we also are working on this story.
That was hard for me, to see someone in less than 2 years get rid of something that had been in the family for over 50 years.
A family home can end up in legal limbo when there's no will and no clear title. When we come back, how that can put generational property at risk and the step. Welcome back in. We want to take this time and remind you we are only hours away from splashdown as Artemis II continues its descent. This is a live look right now.
Yeah, we've been watching throughout their journey up there. Can't wait to see what they talk about when they're back on solid ground. Of course, we're going to bring you the latest on air and on our Fox 10 Gulfstream. Right now, we've got our crews working behind the scenes on those breaking news updates for Fox 10 News at 5.
Yeah, first, a Baldwin County man is facing sexual torture charges tonight in Mobile. What led to his arrest, as well as his extensive criminal history? I'm breaking it down coming up.
Also tonight, the new shark alert system for Alabama beaches is set to go live soon. It's all part of Lulu's Law, signed by the governor nearly a year ago. Break down how that system is supposed to work. And then a man who served during World War II taking time to speak with students in Pensacola. Advice from someone with more than a century of life experience. And it's coming up on Fox 10 News at 5 in 30 minutes.
All right, here's what we're tracking as we look at traffic right now. We do have some delays getting into the Wallace Tunnel, so if you are traveling on I-10 eastbound from Mobile towards Baldwin County, know that we've got some backups there where we normally see it. It could be some spring break travel going on. Also, we have our Fox 10 Gulfstream app here available for download for free. You know, if you've got a smart TV, a Roku TV, or an Apple TV or an Amazon Fire Stick, you can download our app here for your television, and then you can kind of pick the content you want when you want it. And here's what we've got up and the weather forecast is available. We have a next weather segment here that explains what we're tracking as far as the potential of the upcoming hurricane season. A lot of other things on here as well as far as long range models and the chances of rain, all available on Fox 10 Gulfstream. Here's what we have with our current conditions and our temperatures as we head into tomorrow. Let's talk about Pensacola's day planner first. We've got a temperature around 60, then we warm up into the mid to upper 70s by the afternoon. We've got winds out of the south at about 10. As we look at Mobile here, we've got temperatures in the upper 50s. The mornings are still pleasant, but the days are getting kind of toasty, right around 80 in Mobile tomorrow. We've got a few clouds around the area right now. We'll just call it partly cloudy. It's not a bad day at all across the area. And for your evening plans, we're going to see temperatures in the upper 70s initially. It's not going to really be that cold tonight. tonight, but late tonight in the early morning hours, we will drop down to around 60 degrees. Looking at the region, the high pressure area continues to sit right about here in the Atlantic, and nothing's going to change with that. So as long as that takes place, any rain systems, they'll come marching into Texas and Oklahoma, and then they just kind of kick up into the Great Lakes and they stay away from us. It's like a big bubble, and it keeps the systems from coming in and bringing us rain. Our temperatures are going to be above normal. We've gone from cool weather and now we're changing over to a warm pattern with temperatures about 5 degrees above normal in the forecast. And here it is through Sunday, mostly sunny and 81. Monday, partly cloudy and 82. Temperatures around 60 degrees. So we are looking at a very quiet weather pattern. We'll check out your 7-day coming up.
What a night for the Gulf Coast. This year's Chef Challenge is a wrap, and while the final totals aren't in just yet, we know the sold-out event brought in more than $60,000 for Feeding the Gulf Coast and its backpack program. Organizers say that money will provide weekend meals for more than 330 children for the entire upcoming school year. I had the honor of being part of the event where dozens of talented chefs battled it out for bragging rights for best dish. In the end, the Salvation Army took home People's Choice Award, and then Mary's Southern Cooking won Best Entree.
Love some Mary's. All of it looked great, though. I'm sure a great night, Lenise. Well, most pet parents consider their animals a member of their family, but as vet bills surge, nearly half of owners nationwide are dipping into their savings to cover the cost. And some are even going to AI. A new report from online vet company Dutch found 75 million owners skipped or declined care last year due to cost or access. Researchers say 2/3 of owners couldn't cover a $5,000 emergency without pet debt. Veterinarian Dr. Kate Eldon says the rising costs are driven by more advanced treatments and technology. She says owners are now seeking online advice.
The most important thing is that there needs to be a veterinarian in that loop of care, being the one making the decisions.
Well, Dr. Eldon also says virtual appointments can help cut costs, saving up to $24,000 over a pet's lifetime.
The Wall Street Journal reporting Disney plans to lay off as many as 1,000 employees. The report suggests the company's marketing department will be the hardest hit by those cuts. The layoffs marking the first time since the media giant named its new CEO. Disney had a workforce of more than 230,000 people at the end of the most recent fiscal year. When a homeowner dies without a will, a family can end up stuck in legal limbo, and undoing that damage can take time, money, and help. In this Watching Your Wallet, consumer investigator Chris Jackman is telling you why homeowners really need to avoid these costly problems and how.
I'm the mediator, I'm the hand holder, and I am the bridge. I like to call myself the bridge between the client and the community and the attorneys that they work with.
Denise Cruz is a client navigator with the Richmond Heirs Property Network, where she helps families deal with heirs property, also known as a tangled title. That happens when legal ownership of a home is unclear, often after a property owner dies without a will. For her, it's more than just a job.
And Denise, this is personal for you as well.
It's very personal for me. I have several family members as well as myself who have gone through heirs property issues.
She says a home that had been in her family for generations was eventually sold.
That was hard for me. Okay. I don't mean to get emotional, but that was hard for me to see someone in less than 2 years get rid of something that had been in the family for over 50 years.
Cruz says when a title to a home is unclear, it can be harder for families to prove ownership, get loans, access some home repair help, or qualify for some disaster assistance.
Not only is it hard to identify what the problem is, but it's also hard to have that access to a real estate lawyer or a probate attorney or an elder law attorney to figure out, okay, how did we get here and how do we undo it?
Emma Witten is an heirs property attorney with Central Virginia Legal Aid Society. She says this can happen anywhere, but it can be especially complicated in places where property has been passed down informally through generations without estate planning.
People can pass away without a will all over the country, but in the deeper South, where there is more land and families of color have generationally, informally passed on their homes from next of kin, one after the other, without estate planning.
For Cruz, helping just one family makes the work worth it.
There's no feeling like it's the biggest accomplishment. All the headaches, the calls, it's worth it.
With this Watching Your Wallet, I'm Carice Jackman.
Happening tomorrow, SAD Healthcare hosting Moving Day. It's a walk to bring awareness for Parkinson's research. It starts at 9 o'clock in the morning at the SAD Healthcare facility on University Boulevard. Lace up your comfortable shoes and we will see you there.
The government's new food pyramid could cost you at the grocery store. The U.S. Department of Agriculture updated its dietary guidelines at the beginning of the year. Researchers with Numerator found that following the guidelines would add more than $1,000 to your grocery bill each year. And that's a 32% jump. The USDA basically flipped previous recommendations and now suggests proteins, dairy foods, healthy fats, and fruits and vegetables be the largest portion of your diet.
We'll have a look at our local Special Olympians when we come back. Today's Mobile Area Special Olympics went on. More than 500 students competing. Stay close.
Welcome back. More than 500 athletes competed today in the Mobile Area Special Olympics. Let's go to Sarah Wall with how the athletes got ready for today and what this event means for both competitors and volunteers.
The Mobile Area Special Olympics hosting 500 athletes from more than 48 schools today, and it is such an exciting day. It is a fun day, it's a beautiful day, and we're seeing a lot of happy people. Nick Cadell is the director, telling us a little bit about how it's going today. This is a huge event.
Yeah, it's an amazing event. We're having a beautiful day out here, like you said. Over 500 athletes from 48 schools and a bunch of adult athletes competing in all kinds of track and field events like relays, 100-meter, 50-meter runs, javelin, shot put, long jump, all the traditional events. We've got them all out here covered today for our Special Olympians.
And one of the big things we noticed too is there are a lot of volunteers, there are a lot of buddies. Everybody's a volunteer.
Everybody's a volunteer. So totally volunteer organization. We couldn't do it with without all the support from our community. We've got almost 1,000 volunteers out here today, 500 buddies serving from high schools to chaperone each one of our athletes, and a small, big, large crew of adult volunteers from a lot of local companies that are out here running the events and making sure everything goes smoothly.
And it is a super fun day, and we talk about athletes and buddies, and I've got a couple over here too from McGill-Tooling Catholic High School, Braden, Grace, and Dee Dee. All right, Braden, you just ran. How did it go?
It went good. Like, I smoked everyone, and I'm happy for it.
How is this? Do you like being out here?
Yes, ma'am. It's a joy to remember, and I hope I can do this next year.
Absolutely, and your buddies are pretty awesome, Grace and Dee Dee. Tell us a little bit about what it's like to be a buddy.
It's really rewarding because you get to help people that don't get to do traditional sports, inclusive for everyone. So.
And Dee Dee, you know, when you watch them run and you watch them win, what does that feel like?
I mean, it just lets us know that people don't realize that their disabilities don't define them. They're capable of way more than we are. I mean, Brayden absolutely smoked me and Grace. We couldn't even keep up with them with our cameras. So they're a lot stronger than people think they are.
Absolutely, y'all. Thank you so much, and such a fun day. And if you want to get involved in the Special Olympics, they hold events throughout the year. We're going to put more information for that on our website, fox10tv.com. In the meantime, it's a beautiful day at Davidson High School for the track and field portion of the Mobile Area Special Olympics. In Mobile, Sarah Wall, Fox 10 News.
All right, let's take a look at the satellite radar picture around the area, and it's like it's been, you know, it's dry, it's sunny. There are a few clouds out there, mainly fair weather cumulus clouds along the sea breeze, and then a little upper level cloud activity here going on with the cirrus cloud cover. And checking out the beach forecast, it is looking okay tomorrow, but not great. We've got a medium rip current risk, and that's from the persistent southeast wind flow. I think the winds lighten up a little tomorrow. They're going to crank back up on Sunday and Monday and get those seas going. And so we do have a high rip current danger, and swimming is not advised when we have those red flag conditions. Rip current's the #1 cause of death from weather-related phenomena phenomenon across the Gulf Coast, and so it's a very serious situation with spring break here. Checking out the severe drought situation, we've got that going on too. It's been so dry this year. Rain totals below normal 3 months in a row, and it's certainly headed that way for April. Severe drought over our Mississippi counties and across the Panhandle. Extreme drought up I-65. So we've got that going on there. And here is your future cast as we track conditions, looking at that persistent southeast wind getting back going again on Sunday. That's why we have the rip current problems. And you can see the rainfall back here into Arkansas and Texas. That's where all the action's going to be. And we will be bone dry through Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and probably Friday and Saturday. I mean, it's just going to keep happening because we've got strong high pressure and ridging aloft and at the surface, so it's not likely that we're going to get any rain in here. Your temperatures tomorrow morning to start things out on your Saturday, upper 50s in Pensacola and Navarre, 60 in Destin, 58 in Gulf Shores, 56 in Mobile, and temperatures in the inland spots in the low 50s, Chatham, Grove Hill, Monroeville, and Evergreen. Over the next 3 days, plenty of sunshine on Saturday and Sunday, highs in the low 80s, overnight lows in the upper 50s to near 60 degrees. Then next week, we've got quiet conditions continuing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday, partly cloudy and 82. Thursday, sitting at 83. The overnight lows are going to come up some next week. And so that will make for a little bit more of a humid situation, not as comfortable at night. But the daytime highs stay about the same over the next 7 days. No significant rain chance in that long range forecast.
All right, Jason, thank you. Well, we have a special segment, okay? Whether you're best friends or you're just too young, you fight a lot, you don't know it yet. Today is a day to celebrate your siblings because it is National Siblings Day.
Yeah, we love our siblings. Okay, so my pictures are first. This is my younger sister, Zarina. She is just a beast. I look up to her so much. If you listen to my podcast with her, you already know about that. She's in the corporate industry and is just doing such a phenomenal job. She's a tough cookie, Shelby.
She's beautiful too, just like you, and she reminds me so much of your
my daughter, Phoenix. I know.
Yes, so happy National Siblings Day to you too. Next pictures are from my family. And today is actually my baby sister's birthday.
Happy birthday.
So I had to shout her out. This is my siblings. I am one of 4. This was on my wedding day with all of them and their husbands and wives, or wife and husbands, because yeah. I have a brother and 2 sisters. So Cheyenne, Colby, and Sierra, and then all their significant others in one picture. So yeah, we grew up and we're very close. We're all LSU fans, as you can see, and it's just special having a big family.
Yeah, your family's pretty cool. I got a chance to chat with a lot of them during your wedding, and I love that. So close, you know, you love that relationship. Okay, so now we have our producer, Victoria.
Aww.
And she's there with her family. Look at that. They look a lot alike.
They do. That's a really good picture, though. Love that.
The hair.
Oh, so sweet. Look, the dark and the blonde. I love how different or alike some siblings look, and you can kind of see the similarities, but also how diverse and unique each one is.
And we've got our one of our directors here, Genevieve. So she just sent me this, so I know the names here. We've got James, Molly, and Margaret. So there you go. I hear a lot about Genevieve's family, and they are a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
You know, so it's cool to see pictures of them, and
So
I can
sweet.
see the resemblance.
They live in Florida.
Yeah.
And so I've heard a little bit about them as well, but everybody has beautiful families.
Yes.
We want to go to our director, Ryan's family.
His 2 daughters.
Yes, these
So
are
sweet.
sweet daughters right there, and they, of course, are siblings, and they're just
New
precious.
siblings for Naomi there. Just he has beautiful children.
He does.
And so sweet as well.
Yep, I got to meet them when they come in and visit sometimes, and they are just precious, so love that. Last but not least, Jason's siblings.
How about that? I didn't know we were going to get it in there. Jason with his sister and his brother there. It looks like they're in the Carolinas.
What are their names,
just
Jason?
based on the picture.
My sister's My name is Emily.
Oh, okay.
And my brother Stephen, and we are in Northeast Alabama.
Oh, okay.
At Lookout Mountain.
That's a really good picture. And you guys are all handsome and beautiful. Who would have known? No, I'm kidding.
Happy National Siblings Day. If you are celebrating with your brother or sister, give them a hug. Give them a call. And say thank you.
Yeah, you know, you may have fought a lot as a child, but you'll never have a closer relationship.
No.
I saw this today with someone, a longer or close relationship than your siblings. You've known them
Especially
longer
a
than your
sister.
spouses and everyone else. So yeah, sisters are awesome. All right, thanks for sending those in, everybody. When we come back, golf simulators are booming, and more than half the users aren't even golfers. How they're opening the game to more people at home and without those pricey course fees. We've got that story next. In my house, we got a lot of golfers. So
I know.
It's a big weekend. It's Masters weekend. It brings visitors from around the world to Georgia.
Do you have your spread, like your snacks?
You know, I thought about doing that, but I've got a busy day tomorrow, so there's no time. Maybe Sunday. I'll get some pimento cheese sandwiches.
Okay. Joshua Skinner is headed to a PGA Superstore to find out about how the rise in golf simulators is making it easier to access the course.
Most people won't make it to Augusta this weekend, but 13-year-old Josh Stone came all the way from London, England to do just that.
With my mum and dad for my dad's 50th birthday.
Stone is an avid golfer and is testing out his skills on a simulator at the brand new PGA Superstore in Buckhead.
They're getting to a point where they can't really get any better because they're so accurate.
Simulators have skyrocketed in popularity in recent years. The Superstore sells them at the front, ranging in price from just a few $100s to pushing 5 figures. They tell Stone all he needs to know about his swing.
Got that smash factor at almost 1.4. Love that. Good spin.
And so does store general manager Brian Williams.
What I really like is that dispersion that you're getting.
He's seen how golfers train change over the years.
The great thing about the data and the technology that we have now is Josh can look at this impact video and see in real time where he hit that club face. He can track that club path.
According to the National Golf Foundation, there are more than 1,500 golf simulator businesses in the United States. And they estimate that 51% of simulator users are non-golfers who otherwise wouldn't play, like me.
Oh, there it is.
But seriously, it's a way to increase access to golf, whether in a home or bypassing pricey course fees.
And this kind of technology just makes it that much easier to play. You don't need to have access to a nearby course. You can set this up in your home. You can set it up in your backyard.
The tech even applies to putting greens. Now, I know what you're thinking, and no, Augusta is not available on these simulators, but numerous other PGA courses are.
Nobody's really counting down the days for the British Open, but for the Masters, they definitely are.
And with more options to maybe play at Amen Corner himself someday. Learning to golf, Joshua Skinner.
Hey, look at that.
Atlanta News First.
First on the Gulf Coast with breaking news and weather. Fox 10 News starts now.
A controversial project in Baldwin County moving forward. What the company is saying and what happens next. Also, a Gulf Shores man with an extensive criminal history facing new charges in Mobile County. Fox 10 News digging into both.
Comfortable weather as we head into the...
Digging into his criminal history. Shelby, what did you find?
Well, Anise, Clinton Rowell has a history of domestic violence charges involving multiple women in Mobile and Baldwin counties, including a guilty plea in one case. And because of that history, prosecutors are asking a judge to keep him behind bars. 29-year-old Clinton Rowell in a Mobile County courtroom today. He's charged with 4 counts of sexual torture along with felony domestic violence charges. Mobile police say they responded March 22nd to a domestic incident in the 1600 block of Hillcrest Road. Because of the sensitive nature of the case, police tell me they're not releasing many details. The Mobile County District Attorney's Office says in that incident, Rowell allegedly physically and sexually tortured the victim, subjecting her to degrading and abusive treatment. Court records show Rowell was arrested in Baldwin County last year for allegedly strangling the same victim.
An officer wrote that Raul grabbed her by the hair, told her to leave, and when she began gathering her things, he allegedly strangled her until she passed out. Other court documents show Raul has also faced domestic and sexual abuse allegations involving other women. A 2020 case accuses him of punching a woman in the face and repeatedly beating her. In 2023, Raul pleaded guilty to domestic violence strangulation and was sentenced to 15 years, suspended to 5 years probation. Now, with these new charges out of Mobile, the Baldwin County District Attorney's Office is asking to revoke his probation and have him serve the 15-year sentence.
Of course, he will have to go and appear in Mobile County Court. He's got a preliminary hearing now set for May 14th. That comes first. He's currently in Metro Jail. A judge did grant no bond in this case. In the studio tonight, Shelby Myers, Fox 10 News.